Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. And of course it's a big episode of Smackdown Out of 10 because we've got Roman Reigns returning. Obviously he couldn't be at day one because of COVID, and then he's having a confrontation with Brock Lesnar. That kicked off the show, and there's plenty of other stuff going on. But yeah, as I said, Roman kicked off the show and said he had been doing a lot of thinking while he was in isolation and he did not want to see either Brock or Paul. However, that didn't last long, and right away Lesnar got in his face and asked for his acknowledgement as a WWE champion before challenging to a title v title match. Roman said that it may be a good idea, but he doesn't want to work with Brock because of trash like Paul Heyman. Heyman said that he word shot the tribal chief before Roman betrayed him. Brock told Paul to shut up. Roman tried to defend Paul, but Brock snapped at him as well before Heyman told Brock not to talk to Reigns like that. Brock once again told Heyman to shut up. Roman laid out Lesnar with a Superman punch and walked out the ring. Yeah, just further casting doubt. Really, really good stuff. I just can't wait for it gets juicy after a Royal Rumble. Before Sami Zayn was backstage and ran into Johnny Knoxville, he was there to talk to management. Zayn said that he wasn't qualified to join the Rumble and asked him to stay out of everyone's way before he got Rick Boogs vs Sami Zayn. Sami was tossed around the ring right off the bat and Boogs deadlifted him before tossing him, and Sami rolled out the ring. After a break on SmackDown, Zayn tried to get some moves in, but an axe handle from the middle rope. Boogs then hit a suplex and sent Sami outside, where Zayn taunted Nakamura and they got in each other's faces before Sami went back into the ring. Boogs used distraction to pick up the win. After the match, Sami was trying to argue with the ref about the loss, but Johnny Knoxville came in and tossed him out of the ring, proving that he was ready for the Royal Rumble. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Obviously decent win for Boogs. I don't think a loss will hurt Zayn too much, and also it'll create a good storyline with Zayn, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston were backstage and said that the Usos took their bait and agreed to the street fight before Mickie James was announced in the Women's Royal Rumble from Impact, along with a whole host of nominees, including Lita, Bella Twins, Michelle McCool, and current stars Shotzi, Carmella, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte herself. But yeah, Mickie James, the Impact Knockouts champion, did not see this coming, but I'm really buzzing to see where this goes. And yeah, Mickie back in the Royal Rumble, you love to see it. McAfee then joked about how Charlotte should wrestle herself if she won before Naomi came out to challenge her to a title match. The Queen taunted her and Naomi slapped her in the ring before accepting the match. The match started during the break and we returned when Naomi was down at ringside. Back in the ring, she was taking a beating and was caught in a submission with the champ in control of the match. Naomi got a breather and went out for the ropes, but Charlotte dropped her at ringside again with a big boot before tossing her over the barricades. Naomi then got a blockbuster off the barricades before Sonya walked out. Deville said that after the match could not be won with a count out. The distraction from Sonya then caused Charlotte to get back in control with a shot from behind. Back after a break, Charlotte locked in the figure of 8 and Sonya announced that this was a pinfall and no DQ match. Charlotte nearly got rolled up, but she eventually got back in control and hit the natural selection to pick up the win. And this storyline just keeps on going on. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I wasn't a massive fan of it, but Charlotte and Naomi, of course, it's going to be a great match. Adam Pearce was backstage and said he had to pick an opponent for Roman Reigns for the Royal Rumble by the end of tonight's show. Before Happy Corbin was out next after his attack on McIntyre last week, he called the Scottish Warrior out to join him. Drew's music hit, but it was Madcap Moss in a neck brace who came out. Moss pretended to be Drew as they poked fun at the former champ. The Viking Raiders walked out and headed to a match with the Happy Boys. Ivar and Moss were in the ring as we returned from a break, and the Viking Raiders were dominating early on. Eric tossed Ivar onto Corbin after he tagged into a cheap shot from Moss. Moss then was back in and hit spear on Eric, and Corbin wiped out Ivar. Moss then hit the punchline neckbreaker and picked up the win. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Decent enough match. For me, the right result. I don't think anyone will remember this by next week, but for all it was okay. We learned that Drew suffered an injury last week, and Sheamus reminded us that so did Ridge Holland. Sheamus said he felt responsible and sought revenge. Backstage on SmackDown, Pearce walked into Roman Reigns' locker room to tell him about his Royal Rumble opponent, but Roman said he didn't care and walked off. Before we got the Usos versus New Day for SmackDown tag titles, New Day isolated Jimmy Uso as the match began, and Jay dragged him out of the rope before Kofi had a trust fall on them from the top rope. Kimmy dragged Jimmy Uso to the stage and tossed him on one of the LED boards, while Woods fought Jay from behind. The Usos got their combined finisher on Woods as the match returned to the ring for a near fall. The Usos duct tape Woods hand to the ropes before Kofi took them out and freed them. Back on the outside, New Day were wiped out with a steel sets before Woods came back in with a dual clothesline off the barricades. Back after a break, New Day got a suit Spartan armour and used to beat down the Usos and get a near fall. The tables turned under the ring when Jimmy Uso got super kicks on both opponents. Kofi got trouble in Power of Ice and the Usos hit double super kicks on the New Day before setting up a table in the ring and put Kofi through it with a 1D to pick up the win. Seth Rollins then walked into Roman Reigns' locker room and made an evil laugh, and SmackDown went off the air, hinting that he would be his opponent at the Royal Rumble. And yeah, I can't wait for that. That's going to be a great match. But on to the Usos New Day. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Obviously, I'm kind of strange how this match came about, considering they literally lost the other day. But, you know, it was a really fun match for what it was. And, yeah, Roman v Seth is the icing on the cake, if you like. Really can't wait for that. Overall this week, SmackDown gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, we enjoyed this episode of SmackDown, to be honest. Obviously, lots going on with Roman Reigns stuff, and yeah, decent matches all over the cards, especially in the main event. So yeah, on the whole, a really, really good episode. And Mickie James, I still can't believe that. Yeah, just wow, this is a crazy episode. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, don't forget to comments down below, follow on Twitter, link to Twitch for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.